Hello, buddy. Welcome to the Christmas Universe today. And today is the begin. Well, this week in general actually is going to be very exciting if you're a BBC radio listener, or you use BBC Sounds, or if you've been using BBC iPlayer or checking out BBC channels over the last year, then you know how special this week's going to be, because this week we're going to be getting a lot of Christmas news from the BBC, and it's tomorrow, or actually from midnight tonight, actually, they're going to be revealing their plans Christmas TV 2024. Hopefully the films as well, but I'll be saving the films reveal in a separate special later this week, so be sure to look out for that. But yes, the Christmas TV stuff will be revealed tomorrow from BBC. But today, however, is where they talk about BBC radio plans for 2024. There's a lot of radio content coming, so without further ado, obviously in this one though, we're going to be focusing on Radio 1, Radio 2, and of course BBC Sound. But I thought we'll start, and make sure to again like and subscribe, etc., because we're going to start with BBC Radio 2, considering the fact that BBC Radio 2 has got probably the biggest amount of listeners right now. A lot of people are listening to Radio 2. They love Radio 2 because of the success of Paddy McGuinness's Children Need Challenge, to all the other special moments that Radio 2 has had this year that's grown its listeners within the last year, probably past 10 million listeners by now. So it makes sense that we focus on Radio 2 first, because they are becoming very big over the last year. So let's take a look and see what Radio 2 has in store for its listeners this year. If you're a Radio 2 listener, you might want to listen up, because this is what's coming. And by the way, many of the shows that you're about to hear are actually going to be available part of the Radio 2 Christmas collection on BBC Sound. So there will be a special collection for Christmas for Radio 2 that you'll be able to find on the BBC Sounds app, and I'll leave links for those who want to download the app if you want to download it. And by the way, you can download BBC Sounds on your PlayStation console, whether you're on PS4 or PS5. And yeah, you can also put it on your HomePods, your Apple HomePods, or even Alexa from Amazon, BBC Sounds, so you can request for BBC Sounds when you're using those devices. All right, so first things first, we start off with Zoe Bowles' very last BBC to Radio 2 breakfast show, which is going to be happening on Friday, the 20th of December, 6:30 till 9:30 a.m. It's promised to have a few surprises in store as they celebrate 6 years of fun and games with Radio 2 listeners and some familiar faces. So it'll be an opportunity for her to celebrate her very last show, breakfast show on Radio 2. And of course, from January, more specifically, January the 6th is when we should expect Scott Mills to take over as the Radio 2's breakfast show host, as well as the new morning lineup to go live from that day onwards. All right, so that's the first of Zoe Bowles' contents for Christmas this year. The next piece of content is for the following day, Saturday the 21st of December, it's 11 a.m. till 12 noon. Ramesh Ranganathan is going to be chatting to Hugh Dennis and Claire Skinner among the cast of Outnumbered, to prepare for their brand new Christmas special that's going to be airing over Christmas. Hopefully it's going to be on Christmas Eve. Fingers crossed it will be, where they're going to have a chance to talk about the early days of the TV Favourite Family, as well as talking about some stuff regarding this year's Christmas special. So can't wait to see the TV family make its return for Christmas, and we get to hear from the cast behind Outnumbered as they get ready the new special to air over Christmas. Can't wait. Then on Sunday the 22nd, Reverend Kate Bottle, one of the presenters of Songs of Praise, is going to be doing a Christmas carols program on the early hours of Sunday the 22nd, where she'll be featuring songs from Johnny Cash, Elvis, Taylor Swift, Dolly Parton, Annie Lennox, and the choir from King's College, Cambridge, who are behind the carols from King. She will be playing all sorts of different versions of Christmas carol classics during her show in the early hours of Sunday the 22nd. Also on the Sunday the 22nd, they're going to be celebrating the 70th birthday of Annie Lennox, with Annie Lennox at the BBC celebrating her career across BBC Two from 12 noon to 1 a.m. the early hours of Sunday the 22nd. Then the following day, on Monday the 23rd, they're going to be showing the best highlights of Radio 2's Piano Room in 2024. So that's going to be on Monday the 23rd, and also on Boxing Day as well. They're going to be showing some highlights where Vernon Kay will be looking at some of the many highlights of the Radio 2 Piano Room performances this year. Have a chance to feel the Piano Room performances from this year. And then also on Monday the 23rd is when Radio 2 will be airing their Band-Aid special presented by Zoe Boll called Do They Know It's Christmas, the song that changed the world, which, by the way, you can listen to this on BBC Sounds right now, but essentially tells the story of Band-Aid Do They Know It's Christmas, the successful charity, the first ever Christmas charity single to ever reach the #1 spot in the Change of Force, of course. Basically telling the story as well as talking to the people responsible, contributing to the song, as well as all the singers who took part in the many different versions in the last 40 years. You'll be hearing from them as they celebrate Band-Aid Do They Know It's Christmas on Monday the 23rd, 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. that night. They'll be showing that special presented by Zoe Boll. And then we're gonna have a debut of a hairy biker, Sid King, who's going to be bringing his Christmas rock on Monday the 23rd, 10 p.m. till he'll be presenting Christmas rock tunes and some sparkly Christmas tunes throughout the course of the evening of Monday the 23rd. And then we go into Christmas Eve, and from midday Christmas Eve, Zoe Boll's actually recorded 2 Christmas specials to air over Christmas. The first of them will be on Christmas Eve, where she'll be looking at her Christmas crooners for the likes of Andy Williams, Eartha Kitt, Ellie Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong, Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga, The Carpenters, Sammy Davis Jr., to name a few of the stars, Bing Crosby, many of those different singers who have done their takes on Christmas classics. She'll be sharing on Christmas Eve. And then at 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve, we have Richie Anderson doing his Driving Home for Christmas. As he did last Christmas, he'll be chatting to listeners about their plans for Christmas, take some Christmas song requests, hear from some of his celebrity friends who will be sending in their Christmas greeting, a chance to just get cozy in the afternoon of Christmas Eve. What better more? Perfect soundtrack, Christmas Eve afternoon. And then also, speaking of Christmas Eve, that very night, Sophie Ellis-Bextor is going to be giving us a Christmas Eve kitchen disco with many Christmas hits like Mariah Carey, Wham, Kelly Clarkson, Michael Bublé, Benny Lee, Shaky Stevens, The Pogues, many festive classics to make your Christmas Eve kitchen disco spark, presented by, obviously, Sophie Ellis-Bextor, which you can look forward to at 6 till 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve. And then in the early hours of Christmas Day, L.A. Jones and Reverend Kate Butler will be bringing you the radio version of the Young Choirs of the Year, which, by the way, will be broadcasting on Songs of Praise this Sunday, if you want to see which you'll be able to watch on the telly this weekend as part of Songs of Praise on Sunday. And they'll be broadcasting the radio version of that on Christmas Day, 4 till 6 a.m. in the early hours of Christmas morning. And then from 6 a.m. on Christmas Day will be part 2 of Zoe Boll's Christmas Crooners for Christmas Day, where she'll be presenting her Christmas Day edition of the Christmas Crooners with some Michael Bublé, Frank Skinners, Julie Gardner, Gregory Porter, Nat King Cole, Natalie Cole, Perry Cole, Dean Martin, to name a few of the singers who she'll be playing music from. And then at 8 till 10 a.m., Reverend Kate Butler will return to Radio 2 for her live Christmas Good Morning Christmas program, where she'll be talking about peeling potatoes, opening presents, setting the table, a chance to tape messages and music for Christmas morning. And then at 10 a.m. till 12 noon, Junior Choice will return for Christmas Day with Anna K. Rice live on Radio 2, where she'll be playing children's favourite tunes from across the decade and taking a trip down memory lane with sing-along favourites for kids and grown-ups of all ages on Christmas Day. And then following her will be Jane McDonald's Christmas with Jane McDonald, where Jane McDonald returns to Radio 2 to play some festive tunes, share some funny memories and heartwarming stories for Christmases gone by, and as well as playing festive tunes. A show for all ages. And then 2 till 4 p.m. will be Greg Davis's turn to bring some Christmas sparkle to Christmas Day, obviously around the Christmas lunchtime slot, of course, as well as also talking to some of the heroes of the UK working today, the emergency services, care workers, the essential shops and service stations. He'll be chatting with them, talking about those heroes who are working on Christmas Day. And then there'll be a festive pick of the pops with Mark Goody Christmas Day 4 till 7, where he'll be looking at the Christmas charts from 1974, 1984, and 1994. So you can check out, so that will be looking at the 30, 40, and even 50 years ago Christmas charts on Christmas Day. And then following that, on Christmas Day, Mariah Carey is going to be hosting a show on Radio 2. You've heard my word. She is hosting a show on Radio 2, which is calling her Christmas Hour, celebrating 30 years of All I Want for Christmas Is You, where she'll be sharing some new memories about her making the song, as well as playing Christmas hits for Rita Franklin, Stevie Wonder, Nat King Cole, Whitney Houston, Jackson 5, Destiny's Child, just to name a few of the people that is on her playlist Christmas Day. And then following her will be Beverly Knight's Great British Ghostby Christmas, where she'll be playing some ghostby music on Christmas Day, as well as festive tunes and traditional carols on Christmas Eve. And then following that at 10 a.m. till midnight on Christmas Day into the early hours of Boxing Day will be Trevor Nelson's Soul Christmas, where he'll be presenting his Soul Christmas concert from the Royal Albert Hall that will be transmitting Radio 2 this Christmas Day. Lots of obviously R&B with a festive twist this year. Then we've got some highlights for Boxing Day, which includes Sounds of the Soul with Tony Blackburn. That will be from 12 noon to 2 p.m. on Boxing Day. He'll be playing some soul music from across the decade and some soul superstars of tomorrow. And then we have When Scott Mills Met Julie Collins, celebrating her 7 decades in show business with an exclusive interview on Boxing Day 9 till 10 p.m. Then some other highlights for Radio 2 for Christmas includes the Best of Radio 2 in the Park, which will be having 3 specials starting on Monday the 30th. Then it continues on New Year's Day, Wednesday the 1st of January, and then Thursday the 2nd of January 2025 from 7 till 9, looking at some of the highlights from this year's Radio 2 in the Park. Then there'll be 3 more extra specials coming on those same dates for Radio 2's All Stars with Dermot O'Leary, the same days, Monday the 30th of December, Wednesday the 1st of Jan, and Thursday the 2nd of January, 9 till 10 p.m. Dermot O'Leary will be looking at all the All Stars from Radio 2. And then we go into New Year's Eve. Obviously, New Year's Eve is also the day that Sophie Ellis-Bextor will be doing her New Year's Eve disco for BBC One that night. Just before she does that, she'll be broadcasting her New Year's Eve kitchen disco on New Year's Eve, 12 p.m. till 2 p.m. She'll be doing a special New Year's Eve edition of her kitchen disco, feel-good tunes to set the mood for the new year. And then 2 till 4 p.m. they'll be starting off the New Year's Eve party Sounds of the 60s, starting with Tony Blackburn from 2 p.m. 4 p.m. with the Sounds of the 70s with Bobby Harris. Sounds of the 80s from 6 p.m. with Gary Davis. And then Yoann Wayne Evans will be doing the Sounds of the 90s from 8 p.m. And then from 10 p.m. Michelle Valrich will be doing her fabulous New Year's Eve party live from LA, playing some party tune to take us straight into 2025 as it finishes at 1 a.m. in the early hours of New Year's Day. Then we go into New Year's Day. Some of the highlights for New Year's Day includes Your Ultimate Elvis song, as Radio 2 listeners will be voting for the all-time favorite Elvis song, which will be revealed on New Year's Day, 3 till 5 p.m. And then following that at 5 till 6 p.m., Syria Matthews, the host of Blue Show on Radio 2, will be bringing us Elvis Presley, My King, doing a special hour program, delving her memories of growing up in Wales and hearing about his music of Elvis Presley and also the impact his death in 1977. And then we have a When Wales Welcomes the King, where Arwen Wayne Evans talks about the time when Elvis Presley came to South Wales and his legacy came into South Wales on New Year's Day, 6 till 7 p.m. That is the final highlight, Radio 2 New Year's Day. Lots of cool things to look forward to on Radio 2 this Christmas for sure. So then we go into Radio 1's highlights for Christmas this year, which begins on next Tuesday, the 3rd of December, with Radio 1 Anthems Christmas specials that are going to be lasting all the way to Christmas Day, with a whole host of Radio 1 presenters taking on the Christmas anthems this year. And then you can also listen to the happy anthems on BBC Sounds right now for Christmas. They've also got Radio 1's Festive Feels, where Greg Davis between Monday the 9th and the Friday the 13th of December is going to give some special moments to 5 listeners who deserve a spotlight this Christmas, as well as delivering surprises to Radio 1 listeners who have gone above and beyond for their loved ones and communities. Just some of the things that Greg Davis will be doing for Radio 1 this Christmas. And then the final highlight for Christmas is, of course, the reveal of this year's Christmas number 1 on Friday the 20th, 4 p.m. till 5:45 p.m., where Jack Saunders will be revealing this year's Christmas number 1, the official Christmas chart this Christmas. This very Christmas, Friday the 20th, we'll know who this year's Christmas number 1 will be. Tune in if you want to find out who takes the crown of the number 1 spot this Christmas in the charts. So that is Radio 1's highlights for Christmas in 2024. Now we go straight into BBC Sounds highlights for this year, which includes the following. And we start with the podcast, which includes the Off the Telly Christmas Telly special, where that'll be broadcasting from the 11th of December, where she'll be chatting about Christmas telly. They always watch festive habits and festive memories. And then they're going to do another special on the 13th of December with What Shall We Watch Christmas Telly, talking about some upcoming Christmas telly, as well as remembering some classic Christmas programs and looking ahead at this year's telly, including the anticipated Gavin and Stacey and EastEnders Christmas specials. And then the final Christmas special that will air on the 18th of December, their podcast special, will be the Gavin and Stacey specials, where they're going to be doing some special episodes chatting about all things Gavin and Stacey in preparation for this year's Christmas finale for Gavin and Stacey, which is going to be it. And also the second one will air in early January. So that's going to be really... And then on the 12th of December will be the release of the Sidetracks Christmas special with Anne and Nick, who will be giving you some Christmas party gossip. Expect special guests and live music, of course. Make Me a Mixtape Christmas special will be airing next Tuesday, the 3rd of December, which you can look forward to that. And also Nigel Sliders is going to be a part of the podcast next Tuesday, which is going to be great. The top 10 Christmas party hits with Richard Osman, and they'll be joined by Richard Osman on Friday. Obviously, you can now listen to it on BBC Sounds. And then on the 23rd of December will be the Miss Me Listen Bitch Christmas special. Yes, they've named it that. Extreme. That'll be their Christmas special on a day before Christmas Eve. And then they're going to do a New Year special on the 2nd of January called Meaty Drop, where they're going to be talking about some live shows on the horizon of 2025. Then we have the Uncanny Christmas specials, including the Uncanny Live. That will be going out on the 13th and 20th of December. So you can look forward to that if you want to hear some chilling stories. And then we've got Christmas music. They've got Christmas music playlists that are currently available, such as Mindful Mix with Christmas carols, or obviously from Radio 3. That is now available for you to listen to. They've got the Morning After Mix as well that's also available, and they're going to have a Morning After New Year's Eve mix as well coming, and it's a Merry Morning After Morning Mix, baby, special playlist that will also be getting a release on BBC Sound. But yeah, and of course, as well as that, there's going to be all sorts of special popular mixes, such as the Sophie X Spector's Kitchen Disco Ultimate Christmas Hits, the Sounds of the 90s Festive Mixtape, Radio 1's Happy Christmas Anthems, Zoe Bell's Christmas Crooners, which we know is airing on Radio 2, and then we have the Ultimate Christmas Movie Mixtape, where Radio 1's film experts will be picking out some of the most loved songs, festive films. Greg Davis presents the Radio 1 Christmas Anthems. You have Radio 1's Mr. Christmas. Greg James brings 2 hours of best Christmas anthems, and then he'll be revealing his top 3 Christmas songs of all time, part of the list as well. And then, of course, there's a New Year Sounds that will be going live from Boxing Day. They're going to be releasing Sophie X Spector's second festive special on Boxing Day on BBC Sounds, where she'll be serving up some feel-good songs, which is her New Year's Eve special of the disco party playlist of her Kitchen Disco. So that is some of the highlights for BBC Sounds and Radio 1 and 2 for Christmas 2024. A lot to look forward to, a lot of really festive treats if you're listening on BBC Radio or BBC Sounds, and if you want a list of all the radio stations and what they're doing for Christmas this year, because they've got a lot of Christmas specials coming on all the different stations. If you want to find out what your preferred station's doing for Christmas, then I'll leave a link in the description if you want to take a look at what they're planning airwaves this Christmas, because they've got quite a bit of content coming on the big year. So and there's also going to be a lot of football content on Radio 5 Live also over Christmas if you're a football fan and you want to listen on the radio. And there's also going to be some celebrations of Kenny Everett. They'll be celebrating his 80th anniversary on Radio Bristol on Christmas Eve, just to name some of the content that they're going to be having locally on radio stations this Christmas. But yeah, so that is the BBC Radio and Sounds highlights for Christmas 2024. And of course, from tomorrow, we'll have highlights for Christmas telly on the BBC. It'll be in 2 parts. Be sure to look out for that. We'll also have highlights of the film premieres for BBC this Christmas as they reveal their new movies that are going to be going out, BBC 1 and 2 this Christmas. Looking forward to finding out what's on that list this year. But with that said, thanks for watching, and get ready for some really, really cool news. Lots of exciting news coming from the BBC about their plans for Christmas 2024. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for the Christmas TV highlights. And also check out my Band-Aid special that's going to be available very shortly. See you then.